Good morning, believers. Good morning, Israel. Good afternoon, good evening. Whatever time it is where you're at. JD Niger, Word of Truth channel. Welcome back. Monday morning, December 29th, 2025, or so they say. So let me pray. Heavenly Father, bless my brothers and sisters. Give them understanding and wisdom and knowledge, a fear of you, a covering from your coming storm, a covering. Give them a covering from your coming storm. Amen. I've been listening to videos that have been talking about something interesting to me. I don't know if you guys are interested or not. Pull up if you want to watch some trippy videos about possibly being in the Satan's little season, where per Revelations 20, Satan is released out of the pit and he deceives the nations. For a little season. And there's certain clues. Of course, all the lies that everyone tells out here is one clue. The lies that everyone tells, the deceit, the bullshit that goes on out here, that's a big clue that we're in this little season. The way governments are run, the way you can't believe anything. You really can't believe anything unless you see it with your own eyes. You don't know. You don't know what the fuck they're telling you is true. Anyhow, once I started pulling these Tataria videos, it's they're talking about an ancient landmass, an ancient people to Tartaria. And it has a lot of, it follows along the lines of the millennial kingdom. There was one of them is the railroads. All these tracks through America, especially here in California, very suspicious. Very, very suspicious. All the railroad tracks. California has only been a state for, I don't know, what is it? 1850, not even 200 years. And these railroad tracks have been here. The railroad tracks might have been here. What the theory says is that they did it differently. They didn't use steam engines. They didn't use coal. In the millennial kingdom, it was some kind of water and frequency. And think that's what happened. There was a whole different frequency when Jesus was here. There was a higher frequency. It was a vibration. So besides the orphan trains and these buildings that they tore down and burnt up, these amazing structures, these monolithic structures all over the world that they didn't want us to know about. The mud flood, the whole mud flood theme is part of that too. When Satan came out of the pit, the clash of the two frequencies, the frequency of Jesus, the nice mellow frequency, and then the frequency of the devil coming out of the pit, the liar, made the ground in the water. The frequency it's probably like a big frequency explosion where the sound went boom, like a trumpet when the last trump, boom. It reverberated off the firmament and just created like a big implosion, explosion, implosion. It boom. The water under the ground came up. The water from the sky came down. So the other interesting, and then I'm going to read some Bible to you, but the other interesting one was there was all these huge bells. These are the videos that you could pull up. They're pretty interesting. I don't know if it's all true. It might be, some of it might be lies. They might be deceiving us. I don't know. But it resonates with my spirit. The frequency resonates because we know that they're using frequency still. Everywhere you go, there's music on. Everywhere you go, you're being bombarded. You go to put gas. You're bombarded by sound, by music, by some stupid commercial with some bitch with the most irritating voice. You're like, fuck. Can't wait to get out of here. But frequency, that's what they're using in the 4G, 5G, 6G. The towers are frequency. So that's why we feel so shitty all the time and weak and confused and they've been testing on us. I think that's part of the reason. That's another part of the reason why my hearing, a lot of people are having hearing problems. If you're an ear doctor, you're cleaning up right now. Because the frequencies are totally disrupting your ears. But anyway, what I was talking about, the bells, supposedly, from what these videos are saying, and they have some pictures, I don't know how much is AI and how much is not, I don't know, but it makes sense to me. Remember, you know how churches all had bell towers? The Hunchback of Notre Dame, he'd ring the bell. So what they do, they made the guy that rang the bell a monster, right? They made him a hunchback. They made him a ghoul. The guy that rings the bell that calms the atmosphere. So what these videos are talking about. You might, if you're interested. I love thinking about, how did we get here? How did they do this to us? How did we fall so far? How did we fall so far? They took away everything good. We used to have free energy. Nikola Tesla. He's like, no, there's free energy. I got to figure out how to get it back. Because when Satan came out, he's like, no, I can't have nothing free. I need to steal everything from these people. Right? Satan's come to kill, steal, and destroy. So these bells, some of them weigh tons, huge bells, bigger than my truck, So they talk about the Statue of Liberty when they talk about the Satan coming out of the pit. The Statue of Liberty is Satan, and the chains on his feet are broken. There's chains. I didn't realize this. There's chains on Lady Liberty's feet that are broken, which represents Satan coming out of prison. So what I'm trying to explain is all these different clues that we have that we're in Satan's last little season. We're in the worst, brutal end times. We're in Satan's little season. We're in it. And I believe that. I totally believe it, because I've never seen anything like this before. And I've been here a few times. This is something different. That's why my angel buddies told me, don't go. Don't take that mission. I'm like, I'll take that mission. Now I'm kind of wishing I'd let someone else take it. No one was going to take it. No one was taking it. That's how I got it. No one wanted this mission. I took it. And yeah, what do I get for it? Nothing. I get God's love and respect. I get the respect of my angel brothers. But while I'm here, you people don't give a fuck about me. Very fascinating. Anyhow, these bells. So what I'm thinking, the one video was talking about how the Russians, the reason the bells are cracked, the Liberty Bell is cracked. Why do they have that Liberty Bell, that cracked bell, on display? Because they went around cracking all the bells. They went around destroying all the bells. The Russians melted down. They took down all the bells. The bells, they would ring them at the same time across the landscape, across the whole world, probably. From what I'm understanding, and the way it would make sense, is part of God's millennial reign is they would ring the bell 3 times a day. 6 in the morning and at noon. This is a Jewish thing. This is worship time, 6 in the morning, 6 at noon, and 6 in the evening. So they'd ring these bells, and it would keep the frequency nice. Keep a nice frequency. And people were happy. People were peaceful. People were loving. And a lot of it had to do with this vibration of the earth. the vibration of the air. So now, very few towns. Huntington still rings the bell at noon every day. The bell is at the school, and the school has it has a tower. It has a bell tower. So anyway, if any of you, I mean, it'd be cool if there was 10 of you that I could turn you on to these videos. Tartaria bells, Tartaria trains, Tartaria orphans. I might as well just keep talking about this a little bit more. Another interesting thing is the orphans. When Satan came out, a bunch of adults went missing, but there were all these children. Why is that? These are the things that resonate with my spirit. It's like, I could see that. The Lord did something, and Satan's trying to do one thing, and the Lord's trying to do another thing, and all of a sudden, all the adults are gone, but there's all these babies and children, and man, there's some weird stories on that in these videos about these babies that just were like Cabbage Patch Kids. They were like growing out of the ground or something. Like tears. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? They were popping up. This poor person there, she's doing the criminal. They have people do the community service. They give you a bag and a trash picker upper. And it's windy right now. We used to use the buckets, like the Home Depot buckets. So much easier to pick up trash in a bucket than a fucking bag. The bag, especially in wind like this, the bag blows all around. You can't get the... I hated it. I did this job a few times. I would show you what she's doing, but you get the idea. Like a trash sack. Trying to put trash in a trash sack in the wind with a picker-upper when that thing is... Anyhow. Yeah. Check it out. The bells. The bells of Tartaria. Pretty interesting stuff. Because we talk about frequency on this channel a lot. A lot has to do with your vibration. Demons and dark spirits vibrate at a low frequency. They were saying that the bells that they hated, the frequency that the devils don't like is between 100 and 134. So these bells, they'd ring them, and they all were tuned, all these different bells across different countries and everything. they were all tuned the same. It was like the angels made these bells. 5-ton bells, 6-ton bells. Could you imagine trying to hang a 6-ton bell? How the hell how would you do that without a crane? That's another thing. How did they get these huge bells up in these towers? Use the tower as a pulley? That's got to be a strong tower to pulley a 4-ton bell, right? So that's another thing, is how did they build all this stuff? I think me and my buddies were building a lot of this stuff during the millennium. We fine-tuned this place. It was fine-tuned. And people would take a part in it. You'd ring the bell, and you would be a part of God's creation. You'd be a part of the vibration. You are the vibration. Boom. The closer you are to that bell, boom. And they were saying that the vibration from the bells, the vibration from these bells could be felt like a mile and a half away, 2 miles, something like that. I forget what the distance was. But if you had a bell every 2 miles and you rang them all at the same time, you would create a even greater distance, because the frequency would, you know what I'm saying? There's got to be something weird about frequency like that. So when we think of, too bad there's not more people here. This is good stuff. This is ultra extra biblical potentialities here. But no one wants to sit and listen. They don't. If it's not about how they can get a come up, no one wants to be here. It's very fascinating. When we think of the 144,000 and the saints of God singing a new song, our bodies are resonating at that frequency. And some of us still have that in our spirit, that perfect frequency. And I think what they're doing with the frequencies, with the towers, is they're learning how to destroy the people of God. Messing up our ears, messing up our internal organs. Those of us that are vibrating at a higher level, we can't, just like they can't take the vibration that we vibrate at, we can't take the vibration they vibrate at. So these fuckers, man, they're getting stronger and stronger because they love that dark, nasty, low vibrational frequency. But we can't take it. Messes up our ears, messes up our brain. It's like, drives us crazy. We're not used to a continual low vibrational frequency coming at us. And it just that's how they wear down the saints, with this fucked up frequency that they're throwing out on us in the radio, in the phones, in the gas station, in the market, in the department store. Everywhere is this wah, 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 fucked up frequency. So I'm not going to do a bunch of extracurricular video stuff. This is just me talking to you, just like it's always been. God didn't say put up some videos. He said speak to my people. And that's what I do. I speak to you guys. Too bad my people aren't here. Where are my people? Anyhow, I love you guys. I show my face. I'm not a bot. I'm out.